Let's talk about exporting this as video. So I've got everything set up. It's going to be rendering from frame 1 through frame 250. Let's come over to the render tab over here and choose where we want it to output. I'm on a Windows computer, so the file system might look a little bit different, but this window looks mostly the same. So I'm just going to come over here to my D drive and Buffalo Courses. Let's go to 3D Animation 1, and I'll make a new folder, and I'll call this Molecule. I can't spell today. Render. Then I'll choose that folder, and I'll hit accept. So it's going to render out a PNG sequence, frames 1 through 250. I'll choose RGB, that's fine, I don't need an alpha channel. And I want to render it at 100% resolution, not 50% of 1920 by 1080. So I'm going to crank this up to 100. I'll render with the CPU. If you're on a gaming laptop or a gaming computer, you might try rendering with the GPU, and it might be a little bit faster. It doesn't even have to be a gaming machine. It can be a more advanced, it can be a MacBook or whatever too, and that'll work. And I think that's all I need to set here for today. So 1920 by 1080, 100%. Here's the destination, a PNG file. And with that, you can hit render. I like to open it up in a new window instead of in the image window so I can see the renders happening as I go. And I'll have the sampling rate at 128. If you're on an older version of Blender, 2.78 or lower, you probably want to bump this sampling rate up to about 300%. And then lastly, you want to make sure this clock is turned on. What the clock does is it makes the noise that we see here different for every frame. And it has the effect of making the noise look more like film grain instead of just ray tracing noise. So make sure that clock is turned on. Render rate frame render samples 300. And when I'm ready to go, I hit animation. And it starts rendering. I'm on a high DPI screen, so your window might be a little bit bigger if you're on a conventional monitor. And so this process will probably take, depending on what I'm doing here, about 2 or 3 hours. And you can sit here and watch it, or you can go bake some bread, or maybe call your mom or something.